I'll hit the gong.
Can you feel the reverberation of that wonderful energy? Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity in the Gold Country on this beautiful sunny day that's a harbinger of spring. Are you feeling the spring energies? Seeing the daffodils in the parking lot? My peach tree is starting to blossom. I mean, it's really thrilling to see Mother Earth waking her children up. May she wake up us as well. My name is Claire Palmerino, and I'm your platform assistant today, and it's my pleasure and privilege and honor to welcome you and to open our service. As always, we begin with lighting the Christ candle. In the beginning was the one presence of the undivided and unmanifest, pure spirit of life, light, and love. In its generosity, it shared itself. We acknowledge this presence within us and as us, the creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine expressing in all our giftedness and creativity. We acknowledge this presence in our companion Mother Earth and in all sentient beings. This universal presence in everything we call the Christ. We light this candle as a visible reminder of that Christ presence expressing in, as, and through us. in this present now moment. It is the truth. Let us own it. And now we begin with our opening song. We have no musicians today. Oh, and I didn't welcome the Zoom people. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Please welcome in all of our friends on Zoom. We are delighted that you joined us. And hopefully you'll be able to join us in the sanctuary soon. But if not, we will continue to broadcast through the internet. So our opening song is Love is My Decision. So if you'd like to stand and sing.
Love is my decision.
I don't think we have sound.
It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and
Well, welcome everybody once again. I'm the Reverend Jerry Farrell, in case there's anybody here who doesn't know me. And happy pre-Valentine's Day. I'm glad that you're all getting into the mood of it. Some of you are wearing red, and that's wonderful. And Kathy Lee has given us all a little Valentine's gift, so thank you, Kathy Lee, for that. So this morning, to begin with, I'm going to read a poem from Hafiz. And today's talk is really like a continuation of last week's. I was talking about the first commandment, to love God, your neighbor, as yourself. And we're going to continue with that today, about God being the lover and calling us to be mirror images of God's self, calling us to be lovers. And so this poem by Hafiz lived from about 1320 to about 1380 something, and it's called "The Earth Braces Itself." The earth braces itself for the feet of a lover of God about to dance. The sky becomes very timid when a great saint starts waving his or her arms in joy. Some of you were waving your arms in joy at the beginning and dancing. For the sky knows its prized fixtures, the sun, moon, and stars and planets, could all wind up rolling so wild on the floor. My dear, this world, its laws, our perceptions, are such a minute part of existence. Should not all of our suffering and sadness be like this, as just dropped from an infant's palm that is asleep against the breast of God? The earth braces itself for the feet of Hafiz. The sky pulls a mirror from its pocket and is practicing looking coy. For the beloved has at last opened her arms and is inviting my heart to eternally dance. The sun has forgotten the hour. The whole world has gone joyously mad. Look, the sun's sweet cheeks are blushing in the middle of the night, desiring the rampage of the feet of God's lovers. And that's us, by the way. The divine is awaiting the rampage of the dance that we're all going to do together, the dance of love. And so as we are on the eve of St. Valentine's Day, it's a call to all of us to once again realize that God, the divine, is a lover, first and foremost. And all of us are made in the image and likeness of the divine, and we are called to be lovers of the divine and expressions of the divine's love for each other. So that's a pretty simple, in a bow, tied up, neat little synopsis of what we're about today. And as always, we start out in prayer. We have a lot of names on the lists again. And we connect again with that energy then of love, of the divine love. So for all these people, we are really focusing the divine's love of them, for them, that they are, through our hearts as we say their names. And we had some names just added, so I'm going to start with those. For Liz Weldy, her daughter Jenny, and girls. For Scott Weltzel, whose birthday is tomorrow, 70th birthday, and who retires on his 70th birthday. So we send blessings of love to Scott. For the passing of Sadie Kensett, for her family and friends. For the passing of Lynn, Keith Malley's sister and their family. Beverly Thomas, Jill Fleeman. Margaret Huntley Main, Margie and Todd Sloan. For David Kyle, who finally, hopefully, will get the heavy surgery on Tuesday. For John and Margaret Newland, Carol, for John Miller, Sandra Miller, Eric Nyborg, Richard Wood, Yvonne Coutet, Sushila Mertens, J, and Asita and Ian Iran, Joe Grandinetti, Geraldine Woods, Chris Nyborg, Sharon and Walt Watson, Charlie and Will McBride, Ernest Sersney, Casey Kress, Skyla PC, Diane Dyer. And we know that all of these people will continue to be prayed for by our chaplains and also by Silent Unity back at Unity Village. So is there anybody else that you would like to pray for? Just say their names out loud at this time. For Betty and Mary. And we pray together knowing there is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. We listen now to the daily word for today, read by Claire.
I almost read the wrong one. Am I reading Monday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Oh,
Today
okay.
is Sunday.
Yeah, I know, but this one, Monday, the word is love. That's the one I practiced. Okay, today the word of the day is compassionate. I am a compassionate presence. In periods of peaceful contemplation, I immerse myself in the unconditional love that joins the human family together in God. As the awareness of divine love fills my mind and heart, it dissolves all memories of difficulties and feelings of discord. Centered in divine love, I deeply feel my oneness with God and with all people. I now see the people in my life anew. Beholding the divinity of each dear one I meet, my heart overflows with empathy as I respond to their troubles and celebrate their triumphs. I am patient. I listen with intention. I recognize their divinity as I recognize my own. I welcome the flow of divine love as it blesses me, as well as those with whom I am sharing my compassion. That's the daily word for today, compassionate. I am a compassionate presence. Would you like to say that with me? I am a compassionate presence.
And of course, we're reminded that the I am that we just said, I am the compassionate presence, is the name that God shared with humanity, that's God's name, I am. So when we say I am a compassionate presence, we remember who it is that is speaking through us. So normally the platform assistant, chaplain, or myself will give a meditation. Today I thought I would do something different. In keeping with the spirit of the last week or so, I'm sure we've all been seeing some of the Olympics on TV. And I was sent this video about a week ago that is, the thing that struck me about it, that it is a deep meditation. And I don't know about you, but whenever I watch ice skating, and particularly the pairs, you get lost in the beauty of it and in the movement and the grace and all of that. So we're going to play a video that is a pair of ice skaters with beautiful music, and the energy of the music is quite interesting. So I hope you enjoy this meditation. I'm going to close the screen just to make sure we can see it better.
Silence, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs and voices never shared. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell gold in the wells of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning, and the words that it was on the prophets are written on the subway walls, in tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
What a beautiful metaphor for divine human dance. That when we are aligned, we can be in such sync with the divine presence and love, and it's a beautiful creation, a beautiful experience, and yeah. So, the name of the singer, well, I can't think of the name of the singer now, but he's in a group called Disturbed. And I was kind of sorry that I Googled that because I thought, oh, I'm going to listen to more of his music on Pandora. He's the lead singer of a heavy metal group, kind of grunge. And so that growl at the end is how he sings normally, and there was no other song on there that even approached this, so I was really disappointed. But nevertheless, just the edge to his voice there at the end is quite interesting too, the sound of silence, the neon god they made. Anyway, so now we have a beautiful piece of music as well. And it's from Kate Wolf. Kelly sang it for us last week, but this is a video. And Kate Wolf would have been 80 years of age, were she still alive, just a week ago or so, was her birthday. And so once again, we give yourself to love.
Kind friends all gathered round, something I would say, that what brings us together here as kind friends all gathered round, something I would say, that what brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain, I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire, it's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. And love comes when you are ready, love comes when you're afraid. Will be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
So the one positive when our musicians cancel or whatever is that we get to watch these great videos of these wonderful favorites of ours. So my talk title for today is God, an All-Inclusive Love. And as I said, this really is part 2. We kind of delved into a little bit of this last week. February is for lovers, which means that it's all about the dearly divine and its love for us as our lover. And the divine dearly desires for us to be its lovers in return. And as I mentioned last week, there's a beautiful book in the Old Testament called the Song of Songs, which very few people have probably read. It's a very short book. And the title of the book implies that it's the greatest song. It's the Song of Songs. It's like the universe, the one verse, you know. So what does the book sing of? Well, it sings of God as a lover. It's these beautiful erotic poems between two lovers about the love that God has for us and the way then in which we can return that love. It's rarely read in churches. You can imagine why. It is an option in the list of readings in the Catholic Church for weddings. But for many couples, it's a little too racy. It's too passionate and red-blooded. I can only remember one couple ever choosing the reading, and they were 18 and 17 years of age. And over 30 years later, they're still married and together. Yes, a lot of people weren't happy that they were getting married, but here we are. They made it through. So the book of the Song of Songs sings of that all-inclusive nature of God and the passion of God's love for its creation. And it echoes the line from Scripture that quotes God as saying, upon finishing creation, and God saw that it was good. No ifs, ands, or buts, no hesitations that we would have. Well, what about mosquitoes? What about snakes? What about sharks? What about alligators? You know, the goodness of creation is intrinsically linked to its being loved unconditionally. With God, there are no conditions relative to its creation. As the bumper sticker says, God doesn't make junk, or some variation of, or errors for that matter, which of course drives our brains crazy, doesn't it? And since all of creation is a seamless garment, it means that each one of us, as part of the whole, is good, unconditionally loved also, and cherished as another face of God. A unique face that the divine presents to the world. Love is the foundational underpinning energy of creation, which is said to manifest as light, love, and truth. And I know I've told my story from when I was 17, that when I had that amazing spiritual experience that what I saw and what I felt, what I was part of, was this field of light. All of this is actually light, if we could see it, that is just streaming, like you'd see on a TV screen or something. But that the light has a quality, and the quality is this amazing love. We have no concept of what love is. It's just so all-encompassing and grabs you like a magnet grabbing iron filings. It sort of consumes you almost. So love and light and truth are synonymous. And love, in another sense then, is its own commandment. When we are in touch with the energy of love, there are sort of commands that we just know. We know how to live, and we know what to do and how to do it. And sometimes we can get confused by our beliefs or by other people's opinions or principles that seem to contradict our own or undermine us. So how do we navigate through all the noise of all of those differing viewpoints? Some people try to boil it down to a short list of commandments, like in the Old Testament, 10 commandments. And yet we realize that so much is not covered by them. I mean, the 10 commandments doesn't really cover modern day life, for sure. Because only love covers everything. If you want to know what the commandment is in any moment, love will teach you. Love will show you. Other people elaborate on the basic commandments and come up with further moral and purity codes. Unfortunately, many of these have what we call confirmation bias. People come up with the codes based on what they want, what they think. Like in the Old Testament, we're eating shellfish, wearing mixed fabrics. Like, for instance, I'm not in compliance right now, and neither are you. Or same-sex activity. These things are all listed and banned, yet over time, the first two, they sort of disappeared, and then we were left with the third one only. Interesting. So each one of us can probably think of circumstances or situations where moral codes say one thing, but we are uncomfortable with them, and we certainly don't want to apply them to our family and friends because they're excluding. We're cutting them out. We don't want to do that. So what are we to do? Well, the psalmist in the Old Testament writes regarding humans that they are awesomely and wonderfully made. Did you know that about yourself? That you are awesomely and wonderfully made. So when Kathy Lee came in this morning, she handed out, I don't know if you've given one to everyone, but there were two choices. One was a cat and one was a dog. And for those of you who received the one with the dog, it says, "You're awesome." How about that for a coincidence? No coincidences. And the cutest thing of all is that it looks like my former dog, Cullen. Yes. I didn't cry, but I came close. If someone said to you, "I think you're awesome," wouldn't you just feel yourself like glowing and expanding? Take a moment right now, pause and affirm, "I am awesomely and wonderfully made." Just feel that. That's a little Valentine that you've just given to yourself. These are beautiful and powerful words, inspired words from thousands of years ago, speaking powerfully truth to our hearts. The I am presence, meaning the divine, that you are, wishes to say those very words to you and for you to take them into your heart and to let them change your heart. So I'm going to ask you to repeat that again, but this time be aware that it is the divine speaking in your mind. I am awesomely and wonderfully made. You know, that's good. Let's say it out loud, because there's more power and energy when we say it out loud. I am awesomely and wonderfully made. Now it's like we've locked it in. And when we approach ourselves, firstly, and then others, with those kinds of words and sentiments, we find that our hearts expand. I bet you're already, couldn't you feel the energy suddenly shift there as we said that out loud? It's like we're sending those waves out, ripples, and now we're all feeling it more. We're standing and believing it more. And as our hearts open and expand, our lives then do too. And the quality of our lives and experiences change. And so often people look to Scripture or the Bible and ask, what do they say about a certain issue? What does the Bible say? What does the Quran say? But we can ask a better question, like, what is the context in which the Scripture is saying something? And does it make any sense today? Or was this from an older time? And very importantly, is it right? Is it right for us today? Meaning, does it square with the first and second commandment to love God and your neighbor as yourself that we shared about last week? Instead of relying on our own limiting and limited judgments, we can simply rely on the integrity of loving in all situations and seeing all people as our lover in disguise. Now, that, of course, doesn't satisfy the purists or the perfectionists who prefer dogma, doctrine, law, instead of the integrity of love. And it doesn't satisfy the aspects of those things in ourselves, the purist in me, the perfectionist in me, the lawgiver in me. The Way of Mastery puts it this way: you are loved, you are loving, and you are lovable always. On Monday, we have a group that studies in the midday time the book, The Way of Mastery, and then in the evening at 6:45, we have another group. And that group, the evening group, has been over, I don't know how many years, 12, 13 years at this point, that we've been reading this. And we keep coming back to it because it's so profound. And it takes us into this deep understanding of the relationship between the divine and ourselves. This is the truth that sets us free. Nothing else will. And last week, I threw out a line at the end of the talk. It says, we unite to truth through love, and we unite to love through truth. The two are inseparable. An experience of true love leads us into an understanding of the truth of things. Let me just give an example of that if it's not clear. So, when I had my experience at 17 and I realized it was real, the incredible presence and power and love and light that all of this is, it changed my understanding of the truth of things. I knew that there was no such thing as sin, really, that there was no separation, and that there is only one being having all of this experience. So the experience of love led me to the truth of things. And the more we focus on the truth of things, like that we truly are brothers and sisters, we will be led then to love each other. So there's a very profound back and forth there between love and truth, truth and love. A genuine understanding of the truth of things will always lead us to love. And truth leading us to love then leads us to compassion, and it leads us to unconditional regard of others. So there's a beautiful, it's a different paradigm. And that's what we're being given by Yeshua in the Gospels, but again today, is like we're still struggling with this paradigm of trying to force love or trying to find out how we can love, and it feels overwhelming. Well, the problem is we're not starting with love. We're not starting with the experience of love. We're starting out with something that seems beyond us and is efforting on our behalf. The message of Yeshua or Jesus was, and by default, the message of Christianity ought to be, that all of creation is welcomed to the table of inclusivity. The Eucharist, the communion service in Catholic and Episcopal and Lutheran churches, ought to take place on a rainbow table with a rainbow flag outside the door, welcoming everybody in, that all colors of the rainbow are welcome. If there had been a banner up on the wall, if Da Vinci had painted the Last Supper and put a banner on the wall, it would have read, "Everyone and everything belongs in God's kingdom. Welcome to the feast. Come as you are." You see, that's the problem. We think we have to come when we are already these incredible lovers and have the understanding and the experience of love. And yet, surely in the Gospels, it's very clear, Yeshua just said, just come as you are. I'll give you the experience of the love, and that will be the thing that will change you. And that is the everlasting truth upon which our world and our identity must be built. We need a great deal of trust to believe God's pronouncement that everything God created is very good and loved, even in its imperfect form. Because we get hung up on the imperfection. The really good news is that the imperfection or the error doesn't kick us out of the feast. Nor are there any secret or special practices that are going to give us a leg up to get in to the feast. That would just not be who God is or how God loves us all equally. For Yeshua, there are no postures, group membership, secret societies, specific prayer rituals, dietary rules, asceticism, or social awarenesses that of themselves transform us or make us enlightened, saved, or divinely blessed, other than the unconditional love that underscores and underpins our very existence. That's the entry, the ticket to the feast, is that we are awesomely and wonderfully made. As Paul writes, St. Paul, nothing can separate us from the love of God. What a powerful statement. The fundamental principle that applies to God is that God doesn't know anyone named other. Who's other? God doesn't know, has no clue. God knows no one other than itself, including all of us, in all of our myriad forms, because it's a holographic universe. It's like a mirror. The tiniest particle reflects the universe, and the universe reflects the tiniest particle. And as I said, it's love, it's light. The Christian Eucharist, the communion, and indeed the church, was meant to be a model of equality and inclusivity. Instead, it became an exclusionary game, a righteous thumbs up or a thumbs down, like in the Roman times, as to who is worthy and who isn't. Who can come to communion and who can't? At least the Orthodox Church got that right. They never said, you can't come if you've sinned. They said, we're all sinners. Come, this is medicine. Come to the table and get the medicine. Take the love medicine. Eventually, we didn't need anyone else to exclude us because we became self-exclusionary, because we didn't feel we belonged to the holy in crowd, that we weren't good enough. We were taught that. We had enough guilt, shame, and lack of self-worth to remove ourselves from the table emotionally and physically, as many people have done. And yet most of Yeshua's ministry was about eating with those whom society and the religious leaders considered excluded or unworthy, rejected, and certainly unloved. And it seems like we must always have those in our lives that we call other for us to feel good and better about ourselves. It's like we only know ourselves by opposition and exclusion. And we see how that has become embedded in our recent politics and social exchange around the pandemic, masks, vaccines. All of these things have only stirred up otherness for us. And so we are really being shown what needs to change and where the work needs to be done in our own consciousness, in our own minds and our own hearts to get past all of that. Yeshua refused to take that approach that divided the world into pure, impure, clean, unclean, good, bad, saint, sinners, us, them, me, other. Much to the chagrin, you have to say, of the religious leaders, particularly. They thrived on that. We are the chosen people. They are not. He refutes the very starting point of most religions and of his own religion of birth. And Yeshua is shockingly not upset with so-called sinners. In fact, he welcomes them into his company and he eats with them. And yet most believers who would call themselves Christians to this day refuse to see that that is the center of his message. He is only upset, in fact, with those people who do not think that they are equally sinners as everybody else. The ones who think they are better than. Is that us? Well, we're in unity. We're metaphysical Christians or believers or whatever. We're so much better than those fundamentalists. Except when you meet a fundamentalist metaphysicist, then you'll realize just how common it can be. And so what he teaches us is that real sin, or missing the mark, lies in the very act of expelling. That's the only sin. Expelling people, projecting onto them as other. And sin, according to Unity minister Tom Thorpe, who has a column in the Unity magazine that maybe some of you read, it's an acronym for self-inflicting nonsense, self-inflicted nonsense, as opposed to the truth of our being. It is nonsense that we inflict upon ourselves and one another. A contraction rather than an expansion. And what we know about light and love is that it is expansive. That's why we live in an expanding universe. Love being the best expansion that we know of. Love is God's kingdom. That's where God exists. To further the kingdom of God here on earth, which is when we all know who we really are, that's what the kingdom is, when we all know that we're love, we are being asked to love ourselves enough to heal the separation from God that pervades our humanity and our planet. That's awakening. That's the only awakening, is to wake up out of thinking that you're not loved, that you're separate, and that other people are somehow separate. And this is an ancient wound that is up for healing right now on the planet. And we do it by remembering that we are loved first, not earning that love, not striving to get it. We are simply returning love for love. And so the planet, Mother Earth, is meant to woo us by showing us how much we are loved. Look at the beauty of this creation, the magnificence of it. It's supposed to move us to connect with the Creator and to realize this was all done for us so that we would recognize our own magnificence. All of creation is meant to show us the absolute splendid regard in which we are held always by the divine. We are a splendid creation of the divine. And as we turn our attention once again to Valentine's Day, I would encourage us to spend some time in awareness of just how awesomely we are made. Beautiful day, go out there and look at the daffodils coming up. Look at the buds on the trees. Look up at the blue sky and the sun. And let it move you into an awareness of your oneness with it. You're just like one of those daffodils. You are so magnificent. And that you are beloved of God. And how magnificent all of creation is. And so let us bow to the love that we are and treasure it for ourselves and for others, especially those who have no clue, including the clueless part of ourselves. You are awesome. God said so, so it has to be true. And as we close, I want us to intend something. You may recite this during the week. You can go back to the end of the video of the talk. And it says, I intend to experience the love that I am, and I allow it to transform me now, to become the unconditional love that I am. Let love transform you. So we come to the part of our service once again where we get an opportunity to express our love through our gifts, through our support of the ministry. If you want to hold your gift over your heart, just so that you make that love connection to it. If you're giving with someone, hold their hand. And together we recite our love offering from an awareness of our abundance, our prosperity, and our lovedness. Together. My heart is open to receive, and grateful for all my good. I give fearlessly and with love. And so we have another musical video from some of our favorites, JD and Jan. I came here for love.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jan Garrett. I'm J.D. Martin.
We've got a song for you called I Came Here for Love. I love this song. It feels perfect for right now. Here we are once again, stuck in the mud, marshaling all our defenses. Pushed to the limit, we're calling for blood, and it feels like the whole world's against us. An eye for an eye, toothless and blind, we stumble our way to perdition. Angels of peace, help me release this fight. 'Cause I came here for love. It's the bravest thing I can do. I am here to remember, to let it come through.
Let love come through.
I came here for love. It's the strongest place I can find. I am here to surrender and open my mind. What will we do with this chance to be free? We've got so much love to choose from. You roll with the punches, you sail with the breeze. You show up, you win some and you lose some. Here in my heart is a generous dream, a powerful vision unfolding. Spirit of peace is living in me, and the whole world is opening. 'Cause I came here for love. It's the bravest thing I can do. I am here to remember, to let it come through.
Let love come through.
I came here for love. It's the strongest place I can find. I am here to surrender and open my mind. What will we do with this chance to be free?
Perfect song.
Thanks.
So we have some announcements. Okay. First of all, I do want to acknowledge and thank the chain gang that cleaned up the road yesterday from Greenhorn out to the Y. We have agreed to be the cleanup crew for that section of the road. We have 2 signs up on the road advertising us. Another great job. Thank you all of you. Put your hands up, those of you who were on the chain gang yesterday. Thank you. It's a great service to our community, but it's also a great way of getting ourselves out there and known. And I also want to acknowledge the altar artists. Who here is one of the artisans for the altar? Put your hand up, please, like the 2 ladies in the front row. Come on, doesn't matter who does the altar. So we have 2 of them here, and Christy and others. Beautiful. The office will be closed on Monday, February 21st for the observation of President's Day. And again, a reminder that our annual general meeting, which has not taken place since 2019, 2020? No, 2019. I don't know, long time ago. We will have one, and it will be a hybrid meeting also for those of you on Zoom. And we will have, hopefully, if the new bylaws get passed, we'll have the ability for those on Zoom to also vote. In the past, you had to be here in person. And that is February 27th. Okay, it'll take place right after the Sunday service. And this announcement is about exploring higher levels of consciousness, piercing the veil. And so we have our instructor here with us this morning, so she's going to talk about it. Claire.
I didn't plan to talk about it, so I'm waiting to get a download.
You can read some of that.
Oh, okay. I wrote this. This group has been evolving out of the Aligned to the Divine group. And in the Aligned to the Divine group, it's a meditation group that meets on Monday morning on Zoom. We have been experiencing what it feels like when we shift our identity from the small personality self to the higher self, and opening ourselves to communication with the higher self. And so what we're planning to do with this class is to explore that. What happens? What abilities come through? And it's not about parlor tricks, like, oh, I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I can talk to dead people. It's not that. I mean, we are doing some psychic exercises. We are dipping our toe into the realm of speaking with those who have passed on. But it's about truly learning to shift our identity. And that's what we're doing, exploring that higher realm of consciousness that is above the small self and is always loving, always inclusive, always the divine. So if you're interested in doing this, let Leslie know in the office. Because it's an experiential group, it needs to be limited in size, but if there's a lot of interest in it, after a little bit of a break, I'd be willing to do it again. So, and again, I'm not the teacher or the instructor so much as the facilitator, because I'm just beginning to learn this myself. But I am having a lot of fun putting together the format and the exercises and the teachings. So come join us if this pulls at your heart.
Thank you. And Claire, as a former college professor, is a wonderful teacher. Spiritual exploration, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And we've been delving into Leonard Jacobson's videos, which is it's all about the simple way to be present to presence. It's a great teaching, and he does it so well. So again, join us on Tuesdays at 10 if you can. And then Marlene is leading the meditation group, and that's now in person here in the sanctuary at 10:30 on Thursdays. You can also join in on Zoom, but if you want to be in person, show up Thursday at 10:30. And then the Inspiring Women update were unable to work on the vision boards in January, so we have revisioned. We will be creating springboards soon. So what are your dreams? And I can't see the rest of it, but the plant is in the way. So anyway, dates will be forthcoming shortly. So keep an eye out for that if you'd like to join that group. And that's Sundays, is it? Sundays in the afternoon. Okay, our Change for Change recipient for this month, Spirit Peer Empowerment Center. All right, thank you all, lovers, for being here. Oh, MatCon next Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock, either here in person or on Zoom. Thank you, Angela. All right, let's stand. Oh yeah, we have a new members class. Keep me on track here. We have a new members class on Saturday, the 26th, is it? And that's at 10 a.m. to about noon. And so if you want to become a member, there's a blue sheet on the wall back there. Just fill that out and get it to us. Let us know you're coming. And then on the Sunday, we will have a special part of the service where we will acknowledge and welcome our new latest members. All right, let's stand as we recite our beautiful unity prayer, remembering who it is that is actually saying this. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am, and all is well. Together, let us sing our closing song, I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Yes, I do. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose
Make it a loving week.